Hello, I am Precious Wayne Peaks, host of From the Desk of Precious Wayne. And yes, normally the show consists of an interview and a guest and a topic. But today I just want to sit down and touch on a topic that's never really spoken about but needs to be addressed. It's time for a moment of truth. So, one thing that's common generation upon generation is the children of your daughter get a lot more attention or time with you than children of your son. And even though, as mothers or grandmothers, we don't want to acknowledge that that's the truth. As a grandmother, I see my daughter's kids way more than my son's children. Here's a few reasons why. My daughter's children came directly out of her. They're hers, they're mine. No DNA needed, no tests need to be run. It ain't no secrets. Those are my grandchildren. And so it's easier to take and accept them because you know they're yours. With my son, um, it's not that easy. I've experienced situations where I've been told children belong to my son, and when DNA came back, they didn't. I've had situations where I looked at the baby and knew it was my son's and then was told it wasn't. So it becomes a hit or miss with the son's kids. And then if your son has multiple kids by multiple women, it gets worse for you because if they're mad at him, they don't talk to you. And the one thing that's assumed is that you, the mother, the grandparents, knew that the son was messing with multiple women. Let me be extremely honest. 90% of the time, we don't. Children don't go out and just do terrible, ratchet stuff and come home and share that with their parents. Normally, though, they know their parents are not going to approve, especially if that child is grown and no longer lives at home. So, because the children's mothers, the baby mothers, whatever, the young ladies assume that you knew their place and knew he was stepping out with the other one, and now there's multiple kids, they get a disposition where they're like this because they don't feel like they can trust you. Um, your daughter, the daughter is going to bring the kids and drop them. Here you go. The son's baby mama very rarely is just going to come, leave the kids and not worry because they have whatever issue they have with him, and it carries over to how they feel about you, the parent. And because we feel like it's not any of our business, we don't get involved and clarify and bring closure and try to fix the situation. I will be honest and say, I'm guilty. I don't reach out and say, hey, anything, because I stubbornly feel like I should not have to chase down you to get my grandchild if it's my grandchild, that there should be a line of communication. Well, in this moment of truth, what I would like to say is I am wrong. There needs to be an open line of communication. There has to be an understanding for each party. Just like that person is standoffish and automatically feels like you take your son's side, they don't know how to approach you. They don't know you. Grandmas out there, I know we hate to say our sons were wrong. Sometimes they are. Mine has been a few times. I don't want to be held responsible for everything that my son has ever done, right or wrong. I don't want young women feeling like they can't communicate with me or talk to me, or now one is mad because the other one is talking to me. So now the other one is mad because they think that something's going on with the other one. I don't owe any of them anything. As a grandmother, who I owe it all to is the grandchild. So, having watched the community that I have grown in, the grandmother I have grown to be, I see that this is not an uncommon issue, that it happens all the time. And as women who should be helping one another, uplifting one another, nurturing one another, and helping each other to grow, we have to draw the line. We have to find a way to overcome this. We have to overcome the stigmatism. Ladies, young ladies, if it's multiple kids and he was cheating and whatever, that's not his mother's fault. His mother does not control his sex drive, his Johnson, or who he lays up with. So it's also not her job to be mad at all of the baby mamas and only talk to one. As a grown adult, we're not mad at people who haven't done anything personally to us. So you can't get mad at the grandparent and keep the baby from the grandparent because the grandparent talks to the other children's parents in an effort to get them. There has to be a bridge that closes this gap. We need to purposely work at bringing this together so children know their families. They know where they come from, they know who they are. The old saying was mama's baby, papa's maybe. That's still kind of in play. If there's no DNA, a lot of people are going to be standoffish and afraid because the lie has been told before. People are more than ever holding on to their pockets and holding on to their heart. So, as we move forward through life on a daily basis, let's try to be a little more understanding towards one another. And if you have a child that doesn't get to see its father's family, remember that the family did nothing to you. Whatever he did on his own. Let the family get to know the child. You never know what may happen where they're the ones who can help. So that's my moment of truth, my moment of encouragement to help us rebuild our community stronger and better. We can't let jealousy, anger, and ignorance keep us torn apart. Thanks for